ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थायं प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं। व्यासेन कृतिकां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्। अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवत् गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यै स्तवैः। वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः। यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। रागद्वेषवियुक्तेस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणां विचरताम् यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञाम् वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि तस्मात् यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमे यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतु मुनेः Yesterday in 64th verse, in 62 and 63, Bhagavan has shown us if our mind is not under our control, then buddhi nashat pranashyati. Even Bhagavan has given us this human body, but we cannot use this properly. Buddhi nashat purushartha asamartha bhavati. That person cannot use any type of purushartha, we have seen. But in the contrary, if person is Videyatma, Bhagavan says Videyatma means Atma means mind. Videya means one who is a master of one's in mind is called Videyatma. Such person, Vishayan Charan, that person's mind, it moves in the object. But along with Indriya also, and Bhagavan has given the adjective which type of senses, mind along with senses moves in the object. So he says this Indriya means senses are Ragadvesha Viyuktehi Atma Vashyehi Indriyehi Videyatma Vishayancharat. So a person whose mind is under control and all senses also without any or free from likes and dislikes. Atma Vashyehi, even this Indriya is also under control. With this Indriya in the mind, person moves among the object. Still Bhagavan says, Prasadam Adhigacchati. That person will get cheerful mind. Prasadam means cheerful happiness. In short, we can say Bhagavan is always emphasis on Shamadama. We should be master of our mind and we should master of our senses. And even action of organs, both karmendriyani. And in 65th verse, we have seen Bhagavan says, Sarva dukkhanam hanihi upajayate. There is a destruction of all the pains. Of whom? Asya. There is one Asya is there. The meaning of Asya means Asya Purushasya. Asya Manushasya, whose mind and senses are under control. For such person, all pains has gone away. Otherwise, a destruction of all pain is possible when prasadi, when mind is cheerful, there are no pains. And really speaking, we have seen the no pains, it doesn't mean person doesn't have to face pain. But meaning is, in spite of pain, the mind is not affected. It is called hanihi upajayate prasanna chetasah. One whose mind is cheerful, one whose mind is receptible for all gnana, for such mind, buddhihi ashu paryavatishtate. In such mind, buddhi means atma gnana, paryavatishtate means well established, when quickly, ashu means quickly. That we have seen yesterday. Yeah. Prasade sarva dukkhana. That what we have seen. Nasti buddhi rayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya udhasukha. We have seen there are 4 sentences in one verse. Ayuktasya buddhi nasti, ayuktasya bhavana nasti, abhavayatah shantihi nasti, ashantasya udhasukha. So first is ayuktasya. Ayuktasya means one whose mind is not under control, one whose mind is not at peace, or we can say whose mind is not undergone proper shamaha, is called ayuktasya. It is given tranquil, one who is not still tranquil. Tasya pastan, for that person, buddhi na asti. Here the meaning of buddhi, we have said, is atma gnana. For such person, there is no possibility of atma gnana because mind is preoccupied by some objects. So ayuktasya buddhihi nasti. At the same time, ayuktasya, a person who is not tranquil, for that person, bhavana nasti. The meaning of bhavana means nididhyasana. That person cannot able to sit for nididhyasana. In a person who cannot reflect upon Shastra, Bhagavan says, abhavayatah shantihi na asti. One who cannot sit in meditation, or we can say, one who cannot reflect on the Shastra Vichara, for that person, there is no shanti, there is no peace. And ashantasya utapasukha, a person who is not tranquil, how can that person be happy? So to become happy, there is all steps. For happy, we can sit for nididhyasana, and for sit in nididhyasana, we should ayukta. Our mind should be always tranquil. So this is, we have seen yesterday, this is Anvayaha ayuktasya buddhihi nasti, ayuktasya bhavana nasti, abhavayatah shantihi nasti, ashantasya sukha kutam. How can that person be happy? And last we have seen, Vedanta Shravan is different from simple listening. In Katha Shravanam is different, in Vedanta Shravana is different. Once I have told that story, Rama Ravana, Then that person went and asked the Kathakara, I understand 3 words, one Rama and one Ravana and Danav. Only one thing I cannot understand, who is Danav? Either Ram or Ravana. There is a one story, another story. A person who was listening Katha, he went to Kathakar, and in Gujarati they say it is a Sita Harana Prasanga. Harana means kidnapping. Apaharana, no? We say Apaharana. In also it says Sita Harana Prasanga means Sita was kidnapped. The Kathakara has all told a story in how Rama was crying and how Ravana kidnapped Sita. So after end of the Ramayana Katha, again one person went to the Kathakar and he said, I would like to ask you. And Kathakar again says, yeah, please, what you want to ask? Then he says, I heard Sita was become Harana. Sita Harana, no? So Sita becomes a deer. Harana means deer. Then again she converted in human being or not? It was his question. So he says, Sita Haran, no? Sita Haran means, literally meaning of Sita Haran means Sita becomes a deer. Sita Haran. Then he asked, I understand Sita becomes deer because when deer comes and then he take up, then again from Harana, can Sita assume the form of Sita or not? So there are many people, they are keep on listening Katha, but then that's why this is simple. But Vedanta is always go step by step. If a person is not alert, there are many we can miss the step. That's why it says tranquil mind is necessary to listen to Vedanta. In yesterday I have told these are the traits of Vidyarthi, Kakadrashti, Bhakodhyanam, Shvana Nidra, Tathevacha, Jirana Vastra Alpaharaha, Evam Vidyarthi Lakshanam. Kakadrashti, Kaka means crow is always focused. Where is the, and always Kaka never have fresh food, but Kaka means crow always have some is thrown away, you know, what we have used is a Kaka Drashti, but he is always alert when this food comes out. Bako Dhyana, that Baka means we have, what's the meaning of Baka? Again, I forgot. Heron, something also. So he's always alert. When fish come near, it can pick up. So that means he is very attentive to pick up the same way student should be attentive in the class. Students should be always Kakadrashti means whenever crow sit, his mind is always when food comes. Same way a student can go anywhere, but student's mind, whenever there is some Vidya Dana, he is alert to take. I have read somewhere there is a one person, even he or she eats, in chana seed, there's a peanut used to come in paper. Now I come, they give. So if first they open the paper, they start reading. It is anything important inside, then I can have some banana, then I will peanuts eat. It's called Kakadrashti. Always there is whatever I can get is called Kakadrashti, highly attentive. It is master of one's own sleep. It's called Shwana Nidra. Arjuna's one name was, what is his name? Budakesha. It's called Shwana Nidra. It's always alert. Anybody pass, immediately gets up. Jirana Vastra. If person is interested in different type of clothes, then mind is preoccupied by the dress designing. Jirana Vastra Alpaharaha. If it's lot person, then student have good sleep, cannot read the anything. That's why Alpaharaha, these 5 are Vidyarthi Lakshana. Same way, Vedanta student also should like this one. I have just mentioned because I have read Pujya Avidita Chinmayananji story. He said Chinmayananji used to take camps in Uttarkashi. So in one camp, everybody was sitting And there are military parade was there. So these military people always like very strong. So each and every students, their face turn where the military men are walking. Everybody forgets that we are attending the class. So these students are attentive, not like a Bahodhyanam. Students are attentive. Whatever comes, mind should go. This is not Lakshana of student, he says. Now one by one, Ayuktasya buddhihi nasti. So first I have written, what is the meaning of yuktaha? The yuktaha means one who is endowed with shamadama. Otherwise we can say a person who is focused is called yuktaha. But here Bhagavan says this is opposite of yuktaha. The person who doesn't have shamadama, whose mind is not tranquil, who is always under the spell of ragadvesha, and indirectly I have written just Bhagavan also want to convey how much inner growth is necessary. If we are not mature, then only our mind roams away. That's why ayuktasya means we can say one who is not yet matured. Just now it's just in common. Ayuktasya we can say immature mind. Ayuktasya buddhihi nasti. Buddhihi means atmagnanam. So buddhihi nasti means atmagnanam. For immature people, can atmagnanam doesn't stay. Buddhi can understand because a person in intellect, buddhi can understand, but it doesn't stay inside. So self-knowledge doesn't take place because primary thing to get self-knowledge is not academic education, but Atmagnanam needs only simple receptive mind. And if mind is not receptive, is preoccupied by something else, then proper Shravana Mananam is not possible. That's why how can Buddhi comes? How can Atmagnan comes? That's why Ayuktasya Atmagnanam na asti. Otherwise, they say there is no intellect, one who is not tranquil. This is not like this. Buddhi means Atmagnana. We can arrange Ayuktasya Atmagnanam na asti. Otherwise, we can put also Shamadama Vayuktaha Atmagnanam na asti. Then again Bhagavan says, Ayuktasya bhavana nasti. A person whose mind is not tranquil, for that person, Nididhyasanam cannot possible. So just I have written, one whose mind is not tranquil, such person cannot do proper contemplation. Because during Shravana, his mind is not attentive. So nothing recorded inside. So teaching goes away, nothing stays. Because in Vedanta, what I said, teaching goes step by step. Even Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, if we miss one step, we miss whole the class. So if mind is not settled and not resolved, then contemplation is not possible. Nididhyasanam, not possible. That's why two things, ayuktasya atmagnanam nasti, ayuktasya bhavana nasti. So that's why I have told ayuktasya, all three is nasti. Ayuktasya buddhihi, we can put shamadamaha. Ayuktasya means shamadama rahitaha. Rahitaha. Buddhi means shravanam, mananam, na asti. And again, bhavana means nididhyasana. Here buddhi is atmagnanam. Atmagnanam takes place when a person can listen properly. And bhavana means nididhyasana. So all three things, a person who is not shamadama, one who is not master of one's mind and indriya, for that person, Atmagnanam cannot possible and contemplation is not possible, but Atmagnanam requires Shravanam. So we can say Ayuktasya Shravanam Mananam Nididhyasanam Na Asti. All three sadhana, which is very important for Vedanta, cannot possible a person who is ayukta. And what is the name of Nididhyasanam? So I have written Nididhyasanam helps to assimilate knowledge. It allows mind to sit into and our mind to be soaked in the knowledge. Then incorrect impression about self will gradually go out. So more and more we can say for Nididhyasanam, what we think my body is I am, what I think my mind is I am, it will go gradually. This is the benefit of Nididhyasana. Now Bhagavan says, Abhavayataha Shantihi na asti. Abhavayataha means a person who cannot sit for contemplation or Nididhyasana, that person doesn't have peace, no Shanti, doesn't have peace. So one person who is not contemplative, that person doesn't have peace because without neutralizing Raga Dvesha, mind cannot pursue self-knowledge. And without dwelling in Vedanta teaching doesn't give any peace. So abhavayataha na shantihi and ashantasya utasukha. And person who is not at peace, that person, how can that person be happy? These all are steps, Bhagavan says. A person who doesn't have peace, that person cannot be happy because happiness is not external. To discover we are the source of happiness, we need composed, balanced mind. Then only we can understand we are the source of happiness. So I have just given the steps. From back to become happy, we need a tranquil mind. And for tranquil mind, we need proper contemplation. For proper contemplation, our mind and our indriya should be under control. So samadama should be there. So neutralized our raga dvesha. And if our raga dvesha is neutralized, then self-knowledge will come. But it is not neutralized, then self-knowledge won't come. This is the steps. So I have just, yeah. So Ashantasya Kuta Sukham. If we don't go in whole Bhashyam, but Shankaracharya is given what is the meaning of Shanti or Sukham. That last portion, even Ayuktaha, Shankaracharya is given the meaning is Asamahita Antakarana. So what we say Asamahita means Samadhana Vihita, Avihita. One whose mind is not quiet, say. So Ashantasya Kuta Sukham, for that Shankaracharya is given some good description. Indriya, what is the meaning of Sukham? He says, Ya Sukham, which is Indriyanam Vishaya Seva Trushnataha Nivrittihi is equal to Sukham. If our mind is come back from the longing of the object is equal to Sukham. So Indriyanam hi Nivrittihi. Nivritti means withdrawal of our sense organs from where? So he says Vishaya seva trushnatah. Generally, we are keep on doing seva of our object only. Object may be clothes, object may be food, object may be anything. So generally, our senses and mind always longing for Vishayasya seva. Yesterday, somebody's phone call, no? That person says, wedding is in December, but from now, all preparation has started. So we can say they all are engaged in what? Vishaya Seva, in this function, this dress, in this function, this dress, everything. If so Vishaya Seva Trishna Taha Nivrittihi. So Indriyanam Nivrittihi, the withdrawal of senses, if from Vishaya, longing of Vishaya, then only Ya Tat Sukham. This is called Sukham. But Vishaya Trishna, when person is always longing for Vishaya object only, then it is called Dukkham Eva. This is give pain only. And again he says, Trushnayam Satyam Sukhasya Gantha Matram Api Nampapadyati. When we are longing for the object, worldly object, there is a even small fraction of sukha cannot be possible, because always we are after sense object only. So this is best shloka. Then Bhagavan says, Indriyanam hi charatam yan manahanu vidhiyate tadasya harate pragyam vayu navam iva ampasi. Everywhere here Bhagavan is just pointing out, if we are not master of our mind, if we are not master of our senses, then what can happen? In previous say, nothing will stay. Kutha Sukha. Now Bhagavan says, if we are not ready, our mind is not under control, then Pragnam Harati. Again, the meaning of Pragnam, we can say Atmagnana. And when our Atmagnana will go away, then Bhagavan is say, Vayu Navam Iva Ampasi. If there is a small boat inside the water, maybe in ocean, and they have some destination. Now this boat will go in this direction for some destination. But if there are too much wind, then this wind will take away Navam from their own destination. So Vayu Navam Iva Ampasi. Inside the water, wind can take boat from their own direction. Same way, we have decided my direction is to understand Shastra, my direction, so my destination is to know what is given in Shastra, to assimilate Shastra. But if our mind again goes back inside the object, worldly object, then it's like wind takes away boat. Same way, this our Indriyana and mind also takes away our Atmagnana. One, Bhagwan is again Indriyanam hi charata. Bhagwan has done good thing or bad thing, I can't say, but Bhagwan has given 5 senses, and these 5 senses always external. They are not inside. So poor these senses, what their senses will do, whatever available in the world, they give report. I have seen this, I have heard this, I have some fragrance, this is the taste and this is the touch. So this is the job of Indriya. Means the Karya Kshetra of Indriya means always moves around the object, worldly object. Bhagavan says, Indriyanam charatam. Charatam is not really speaking grazing, but we can move around. Our senses, 5 senses, what their job? So Indriyana means senses, sense organ. Charatam, they move. Where they move, he says, in worldly object, he has not given. Then if it's okay, let all sense organ moves in worldly object, but if mind follows along with indriya, manaha anuvidhiyate. Anuvidhiyate means follows. Follows what? All 5 sense organs. If sense organs just see there is an apple on the tree, no problem. But then mind anuvidhiyate. Then mind says, very good apple, ripened apple, I should need this, I would like to taste. It is called anuvidhiyate. Then mind follows these indriyas, and then whole mind is full of apple. This is only one example I have given. There are many worldly objects. They all are comes through our sense organs and they always inside the mind. And then again, our mind is preoccupied by worldly object. There is a no place of Atmagnana. That's why Bhagavan says, this indriya, this manaha, tat manaha. We can say tat means tat manaha, asya, manushasya pragnam harati. This mind can again take away, robbed away Atmagnana. Again, it goes away from our mind. Mind is so much powerful. Anywhere it can be enticed. We don't know. So first is example. So it says Vayu Navam Ambasi Harati. Vayu means a wind. Harati can take away. Navam means this small boat in water. Ambasi means in the water. When too much wind at that time, now can means boat can just moves away from its destination. Same way, yat manaha, our mind, anuvidhiyate, when mind follows whom? Charatam indriyana. Because from morning to evening, the job of 5 sense organs always see external. That's why in Kathopanishad, Paranchikani Vyatrunat Swayambhu. Bhagavan has given 5 senses external, as though Bhagavan has killed himself. Swayam. And then this mind, Charata. If we have gone inside the mall, we have only decided I need some grocery or something. But mind, first Indriyas goes, oh, new chocolate, something new. Then it goes inside the mind and we start thinking, let me purchase, and we purchase everything. Same way, and if mind is preoccupied by worldly object, then tat manaha, this preoccupied mind, asya purushasya, for this person, pragnam harati. We can say pragnam means atmagnanam, even we can say our viveka, discrimination. What is anatma, what is atma, everything is gone out. So these are indriyas and mind is very powerful. This is what Bhagavan would like to convey, nothing else. So Vayuhu Navam Ambasi Harati. So a wind carries away a small boat on the waters inside the same way Yat Manaha Anuvidhayate. When mind is follows Charatam Indriyanam, Indriya moves inside the worldly object. Tat Manaha, that mind, Asya Purushasya. For this person, Pragnam Harati. It can robs away the knowledge, and we can say even viveka. So what can we do? Always this is the common question. how can we control, how can we become Shamadama Yukta all the time? How can we our master of our mind? So I have written here, Karma Yoga is very helpful, or surrender is helpful. But I have written here, in Ramayana, Rama was sent away in the forest. Then he asked, I think, Valmiki in Ramcharitmanasa, because they have to stay. Rama, Lakshmana, and Sitaji have to stay somewhere, no? So Rama doesn't know where we three can stay. So he asked Valmiki ji, please give me the place where I can stay with Lakshmana. Then he has given beautifully. There are beautiful jokes I always love. So it is given, if he says, one whose eyes is always looking for your Rama or any Bhagwans, you please stay in their eyes. If some Bhakta's ears always listening your Katha, you please stay in that ear. If somebody's speech always keep on japa, if somebody's speech is always engaged in bhajan or kirtan, please stay in their speech also. If somebody's nose always offered different type of fragrant flowers to the Lord, you please stay inside the nose. He says, if somebody's head is always ready to pranam Ishvara, one's head is always ready to do namaskar of elderly, please stay in their mind, head, legs, who go to the temple, who go to for pilgrimage, please stay in their legs. One who hands do pujas, whose hands are ready for charity, contributor, helps others, please stay in their hands also. In mind, which type of mind? Hey Rama, you should stay. So he says, whose mind is with a total devotion, whose mind is total surrender to you, and whose mind is happy to see other wealth. Please stay in their mind. In whose mind is unhappy to see others in pain. So please stay in their mind. And even say everywhere who sees only Rama, please stay in their mind. In Rama, for whom everyone is like a father, friend, brother, for such person you stay in mind. In short, these all are the description of Indriyas. These are the description of Karmendriya, and this is the description of mind. All the time we cannot Shamadama Yukta, then we can direct our Indriyas like towards Rama. That's why I like this portion. Because every time somebody says, how can I direct, how can I master of my mind to do something else for Ishvara, automatically our mind will be stay with Ishvara. Here I have written Shama, Dhamma and Nididhyasanam is helpful to prepare a mind and sense organs, but for this, first devotion very much helpful to us. If we need some beautiful, so we can decorate Ishvara beautifully, so our mind is total with Ishvara. So whatever, if our hands like to do something, then we can say, prepare a beautiful mala. If anything, if you would like to see something good, we can prepare Bhagwan beautiful, we can prepare a dress, whatever. So our all five sense organs, five organs of action, plus our mind, we can join with Ishvara. Then naturally our mind has Shamadama. We should not put too much effort. That's why every time Bhagwan, everybody says, why devotee? They say, why devotee is always powerful? Because devotee doesn't have put any effort to become the master of one's mind. They are naturally, because their mind is always with Ishwar. So naturally, they all are Shamadama Yukta. And I can say this is the last verse. This 68th verse is the last verse for all sadhana. Shama, Dhamma and Nididhyasana sadhana, which are mentioned, start from Yada Samharte Jaya. It starts from there. This is the last one. This is also so. What is the meaning of prajna? So what I said, Tadasya Harati Pragnam Vayu Nava Imam Bhasi. So Shankaracharya ji has written in his Bhashyam, he says, Indriyana is our senses, Charata is always move, Swaswa Visheshu. They always in their own object. Pravartamanana, they are always engaged in all. Even we are preparing tea, our mind is milk. So milk is object only. So then we start thinking this milk is very good. When I will go in my place, milk will be not like this. Our mind can start different type of thinking. So it says, Indriyanam swaswa vishayeshu pravartanam. Then what the problem? Even mind also anuvidhiyate. When mind follows these indriyas. Anupravarte means follows. Then this mind becomes the Indriya Vishaya Vikalpane Pravrittam Manaha. Then mind is not available for Nididhyasana or Gita or everything. This mind is engaged with Indriya Vishaya. Then this mind, Atma, Anatma, Vivekaja, Nashayati, Pragna. In Pragnam Nashayati means Atma Anatma. What I said today morning, our body is mixture of Atma Anatma. Whole Jagat is mixture of Atma Anatma. We always keeping the weightage to whom? Anatma only. So that Viveka will go away if our mind is always engaged in the worldly object. So he is given Udake Jigamishitam Margat Udritya Unmarge Yatha Vayu Navam Pravartayati. The meaning of Gamitumichu. Jigamishitam meaning is Udake inside the water. Jigamishitam Margat. Gamitumicha. Jigisha means Gamitumicha. Jignasa Gnatumicha. Same way Jigamishita means Gamitumicha. Margat Udritya Unmarge. This Vayu can take this Nava in different paths. Same way, Atma Vishaya Pragnam Hratva Manaha Vishaya Vishayam Karoti. When his mind, what mind will do? Pragnam Hratva means takes away, robbed away. And which type of pragna? Atma Vishaya. We start thinking of some Gita. Again, mind will take away. Where? Vishaya Vishaya. There are many objects. Mind says too much Gita. Now start thinking something else. The Vishaya Vishayam Karati. Then this is next verse is the last verse of Shamadama. So it says Iti Upanyasya. This is the summary. Arthasya अनेकदा उपपत्ति उक्त्वा तं च अर्थं upapadya upasamharati. This is the summarize of Shama Dhamma Nididhyasanam sadhana. So everything anekada with a different reasoning, Bhagavan has like to teach Arjuna, and now tasmat means therefore. This our minds and organs are very powerful. Therefore means last. He says now, one says, Tasmadhyasya Mahabahu. For that person, He Mahabahu means almighty arms. Tasmat here, Yasya. Yasya person, for whose person, Indriyani. Indriyarthebhyaha nigruhitani. If person can able to same thing, we can withdraw Indriya from sense object, Sarvashaha, from every side, Nigruhitani, if person can able to control. If Nigruhitani, we can say, we can withdraw our all senses from object, sense object. And if we can able to do, then Tasya Pragna Pratishtita. Then we can say, this understanding, this Atma Gnanam is well steady, Sthira Bhavati. Only we have to know how can we withdraw our senses from Vishaya. So if we say the Anvaya, it is better. He Mahabahu means O mighty arms, Arjuna, Yasya Indriyani, whose Yasya means Yasya Manushasya, Indriyani, senses, Sarvashaha, from all the side, Indriyarthebhyaha, from the object of Indriya, this sense object, Nigrahitani, we can able to withdraw because this is start from Yada Samharte Chayam Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha Tasya Pragna Pratishita. Same is repetition. If we can withdraw like this, then Tasya Pragna Pratishtita. Then we can say that person's Atma Gnanam is well steady, Pratishtita. So Mahabaho means mighty arm. Yasya means a person whose senses, means Indriyani means senses, Indriyarthebhyaha, from the sense organs or sense object, Sarvashaha Nigrhitani, we can completely withdraw. Then how can we withdraw? This is the main question. So I think I have written here, how can we withdraw our senses from sense object? So first I have written through living a life of Karma Yoga. Because in Karma Yoga life, we are not living for ourselves. We are living for Ishvara's sake and we are receiving from Ishvara only. So there is no more personal raga dvesha. If raga dvesha are more, then only Indriya will go more and more in sense object. So this is very helpful. So through Karma Yoga, we can discipline our mind and senses. I think this is also part of Karma Yoga. Whatever I am doing through senses, everything is for Ishvara. If I sing, Yat Yat Karma Karoti, in Shiva Manasa Puja, it is given Yat Yat Karma Karoti. So I am seeing whatever my eye see is always Ishvara Swarupa. Whatever I hear is only Ishvarasya Nama. Whatever I eat is Ishvarasya Prasadam. If we can live like this, then we are come out from the grip of these Indriyas and mind. Even by doing japa, this japa help us to come out. When I was very young means maybe 10, 12, around teenage, our teenage. At that time, I used to listen many kathas. Here, Gujarat is familiar for katha. And there is a one person, is called Dongreji Maharaj. Ramachandra Dongreji Maharaj is very famous from Maharashtra only, but he used to live in Baroda. So he came, he stayed also in our house. At that time, I was very only 2 years, but I used to listen. So always he used to say, whenever you are going out from your house for anything, you have to chant Narayan, Narayan, Narayan 3 times. So everything will be good. So I think so I have started whenever exams comes. No, we are in 9th or 8th, 10th, 9th standard. So I have started Narayan, Narayan. Even before writing also, I used to chant because Bhagavat Gita-39 said our paper will go good. Then at that time also I have started thinking, why should I have to chant only for 3 times? Because I used to go by walking only, feet only to school. So while walking, I can chant, no? There is no problem. So unknowingly, I have developed this mind. Whenever mind is free, it should start chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. So there is no scope. Indriyam Charatam, anyway, Vishayeshu. So slowly, there is no question of to go inside the object. So this japa, whenever mind is free, gives some joy, because mind is always needs something to do. So give that. Whatever we like is not Narayan, Narayan. Whatever we like, if you keep on chanting this japa, this Narayana will Chitta Shuddhi, will do our Chitta Shuddhi. Even through meditation, even in meditation also, we can chant same japa, same Narayan, whatever we like. It is very helpful, and more with a matured mind. If we keep on listening, Shravan means Vedanta Shravana in Manana, mind slowly will come out from the Vishaya, even Indriya also come out from Vishaya. If we can able to do, then Bhagavan says, Tasya prajna pratishtita. Time will come, this Atma Gnana will be steady. And I can say it is a purely assimilated, we can assimilate this jnana. So here, all sadhanas, Shamadama and Nididhyasana, the weightage of Shamadama, the importance of Shamadama and Nididhyasana, Bhagavan has said clearly. And now next verse, it is very well famous, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam, Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami, Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, Sa Nisha Pashyato Muni. This shloka also is called Granthi Shloka. Like Nasato Vidyate Bhava, Na Bhavo Vidya. So we have to untie, we have to open what Bhagwan would like to convey. Tomorrow we will see. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om.